Please, let's stand, let's do a brief invocation. Okay, bow your head, and usually I ask you to go to your God, but when you go to your God, please ask your God to help us do the right thing. That's all we ask, that we do the right thing. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm ready to get started. You all know me. I'm Gracie Floyd. I represent one district in Anderson County, and that's District 2. I am here because District 2 needs to know what's going on with the budget. The only thing that I know is what I have been reading in the newspaper, and reading that in the newspaper is not giving me what I need. I want to know your budget. I want to know why you put it in there, and I want to know what you left out. I am not a person who can go down and budget and audit and everything. I will let you know this. I do have a degree somewhat in accounting. I have taught accounting and I have taught bookkeeping, but I am not dumb. I am ignorant and dumb to what you do. I can't do your jobs. I can't tell you how to do your job, but you can tell me what you need in order to do your job. That's why I'm here. I won't be saying too much. I will be asking a lot of questions. Please, take my questions as a fact that I want to know what's going on, not that I'm criticizing. Some of the questions may be pretty dumb. I may even ask you, well, how do you dig a hole? If I ask you that, it's a dumb question, but I want to know, and you just tell me how you dig the hole, okay? If you've got anything you want to ask me, or you want to tell me that I have not asked, please feel free to do so. I'm talking to the department heads as well as to the what do y'all call division people? All right. I don't want this to be long and boring. I like to laugh. I like to have fun. Okay, but I'm serious too. If you had gone to the fairgrounds with me the other night, you would see me trying to ride that mechanical bull, didn't I? So let's keep it interesting. Let's keep it light. But let's do business here. Let's get something done. Okay, give me what I need to go up there to vote the right way, to do the right thing, and to say the right thing. Any questions before I start? Okay, good. I've asked Rita to sit here. I have the room just like I want it, please. I have Rita where I need her and Jana here, and he's doing the recording, behind me. But we're going to start with public work. We were going to do development standards, but I understand Ms. Hunter is in court today, and she can't help out.
Do you have to answer any questions?
No, okay, first, who's that? Okay, good. Okay, all right. Who can answer the question? Can you? Okay. I'm just told that she was asked for a flood plan manager. Now, let me tell you, I cannot get through this by myself. So I'll be asking them questions and you questions. That's why I'm having this thing here. Flood plan manager. Okay.
All right. Currently, we have only one person in the entire county that is certified and qualified. They got to certified Mary is working on it. But we only have one person in the county that is certified to manage floodplain management. That is an important position because if we get out of compliance, insurance rates for the entire county, homeowners insurance rates skyrocket if we don't stay in the guidelines of FEMA. The only person qualified to do it right now is Alicia. She also has other duties for zoning enforcement, land use enforcement. She's got her plate full without even having to do FEMA stuff. What I'm more worried about, and I can't go for the visitors that are here, I hope you forgive me, I cannot go into detail, but do you remember a legal issue? That's the result of not having a certified floodplain manager. So I'm worried about not having a backup. And Alicia's worried about that too. If she's out sick, or she, for whatever reason, is not here, we can't even hire a consultant to do that job. So it can't even be sublet. It has to be done by a county official. And she's the only one that's qualified. What we would like to do, originally, we didn't have an empty position. So we submitted in the budget for a brand new position. Things have changed since we submitted our budget. Now all we're wanting to do is upgrade a empty position from a clerical type person to the floodplain manager. So we're no longer asking for a new position, we're just asking for an upgrade to that position.
What would be the cost increase of that one? Do I have
Total
that here somewhere?
everything is 42,680. Yes, ma'am. Jenna,
That was the last sheet I handed you.
right there.
Okay, this, I just got, did I just get this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, floodplain manager.
42,680.
Was that what it was the whole time,
See, this portion right here, maybe,
that's what I said.
that's the difference right there, right there. And that's the total.
Yeah. Not bad.
It's a pretty significant salary because of the years of experience and the certifications and certifications. All that's been reviewed by human resources.
So we have, a little bit was dropped. You know, from that, we won't have to do the whole 42 because of this position here.
That's right.
And what is the difference?
That is the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Mhm.
This right here is the difference. We see difference. Jenna, what was that planet tag? She's looking up the
Okay.
salary.
Right. But the point is, that is a little drop there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Where's it going from?
The difference is 28.4.
It was 28.4,
Uh-huh.
so we're adding this amount to
Uh-huh.
it to come up with the
Okay.
salary.
Now, my question is this. During the time when we had that problem, that floodplain host, we were told then that we had more problems like that
Potential.
that could, but it was more than potential. Am I gonna die?
No, ma'am, they need to reschedule your appointment.
Oh, God, because when your doctor's office calls you, when you get nervous, especially if you've been in there.
I want to be careful not to get too much into what we need to do in private, as far as an executive session or something. But, yes, there is always that more.
Yeah,
more-
but see, what I'm trying to figure out now, I'm trying to see if, how bad is the need to have that? I don't want to get into details.
The problem is that, again, if she had to be out a week, we would not be able to approve building permits for that because of, if they can't get the floodplain certification, they can sit and wait. I'm more concerned about is that if she had an extended out, I mean, it could potentially shut down her permitting process until she can return, or we could find somebody that could do the job. But
And it has to be a county employee,
it has to be
said.
accounted for.
Mhm.
But more importantly, I'm just worried that, I mean, she's already having to work. I mean, she works a lot of hours trying to do the two different jobs. And the possibility for error on her part, because she's got so much going on, goes up. So I'm more after redundancy. I need a backup plan.
Does she get overtime pay? No overtime, but she works a lot of time. Okay. Okay. You know, part of my reason for asking this question is because I'm looking at the future needs of this stuff. If we had an incident, then that would pull her off of other things that she would have to do so she could put her time there. Am I correct on that?
She spends a lot of time on the development, land development side, chasing bonds, which takes her to Atlanta, overnight trips to Atlanta, all over the place, chasing bonds and doing other stuff.
Okay. I guess that must be, what is medical down there on her salary? I mean, on her budget? The general fund, it says medical. I was wondering about that one.
Drug testing. But that, we could zero that out, because HR covers that, so we'll
Yeah.
make that zero. Jan will put that on her change list for the future.
Yeah,
She wasn't aware that HR in the general fund covers
yeah,
all
okay,
drug.
because I was wondering about that one. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, thank you for pointing it out.
And, I know that her department is so really technical, okay? And I'm not gonna pick on the little things here, but the books and the publications are needed to keep her updated on the new requirements and the new procedures. Okay, we got it listed at $900.
Yeah, and she's wanting that, if she gets the float plan vendor, they'll need some manuals, $600.
Okay, so that's in the 900.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I see that.
That's in the 2,400. No, I'm sorry, 900.
900, yeah, that's in the 900. I was wondering about that. Okay, good. For new hub. Okay, personnel request. Okay.
So she has some training dollars too, I hope, if she does get that float plan vendor, some EPA.
Well-
She has to go to, it's mandatory to go to the EPA.
Yeah,
FEMA training.
I don't really, I like the idea of training. I like the idea of training because, what we do, we need people who know what to do. So, and I like the idea of these conferences. There's the money in there for, to send our folks places so they can learn something. It's ironic, but the person who really introduced me to that is sitting right in the room, Tony Owens and Hope Hopkins. That conference I went to with y'all concerning your jobs, solely impressed, and I was really sold on it, of us doing that. So that's really that. That's okay. Okay.
So you got Mr. Barry Holcomb next in building codes. $4,500.
Yeah.
Hey, Ms. Ford.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, thank you for the job that you do.
Oh, thank you.
My name is
It's
Leslie.
something to do that. John's Avenue, right?
Yeah. They're talking to me again, literally.
And we can fill you in on the church later if you like.
Okay, all right. Barry, look at books and publications.
Yes, ma'am.
Even though I know the need is there, I'm just wondering, did you explain that to me?
Okay, right now, the way it stands, and I've been conferring with with Roger Lowe with the state, with LLR, he's over the Cyclone Building Codes Council, Labor Licensing Regulation Board, or with the state. But anyway, if nothing changes at this time, the 2015, right now we're under the 2012 International Codes, okay, which was adopted back in July the 1st, 2013. Well, typically that changes every 3 years. And right now, the way it stands, if the state will adopt those codes August of this year, then they'll have to be enforced by the counties July the 1st of 2016. And so that money is to buy all the books we need, because what I do, because every inspector that I have, they each need, whether it's the IBC International Building Code or the IRC International Residential Code, the International Mechanical Code, the International Plumbing Code. There's a lot of different code books that we have to purchase to make sure that, especially when they go out in the field. Plus, we have a library where people come in. We make sure that we've got the latest code editions in there, including some commentaries. But that's why that is as high as it is, because we will be making that change. And so hopefully if it's approved, I'll have to start purchasing those books sometime right after July. Because we've got to make sure we're going to familiarize ourselves with all those changes. Because there's all kind of documents that we actually put on our website to make available to the builders and contractors we deal with, as well as the general public. But that's why that number is where it is, because there's a number of books that we have to purchase because we're going under, as the way it stands right now, again, we'll be going under a new code cycle, 2015 international codes.
Okay, now I know that you do know a lot of vehicles in your department because of the folks that you take go out and look at stuff and all that. Okay.
He is asking for 3 vehicles.
3 more?
And 3, and Mr. Fleet's recommending 2. And again, you skip ahead, but since you mentioned vehicles, he's asking for 3.
Okay, why?
They have a number of miles on them. Just not only just that, it's just the wear and tear. As a building inspector, going on job sites, and we've had these. And excuse me, I don't remember the age of those off the top of my head. They're at least probably close to 10 years old. Maybe something like that.
How often do we change them out?
Not soon enough.
Well, one of them has 141,000 miles on it, the other one has 134,000.
141, 134. Okay, that's old. Yeah, that's old.
It's just a lot of wear and tear.
Okay, are they still operable though?
They're still using them, that's correct.
But they don't start costing us big money to transmission other problems if we don't change them out of that.
All right, do they have to be changed this year, and so, why this year?
Why this year? Again, because if we don't do that, ultimately it's probably going to cost us more money just to keep them on the road. I mean, because things are going to happen to them again because they go in and out of job sites. Just the normal wear and tear of the vehicles, probably more so than you and I would drive a car or a truck.
Of course, yeah.
And so that's the justification behind it.
He's got an 06 with 141,000 miles.
Wait a minute. 06 with a what now?
141,000. And an 06 with 134,000.
Our current program is 7 years or 120,000 miles on administration vehicles. That's when we generally want to start looking at replacement. We want to try to keep them at least 7 years, 120,000 miles. That's what we try to do.
Stoles are fleet managers.
Thank you.
He knows about the equipment.
Yeah. I was getting ready to ask him, but excuse me, but no.
I was just clear.
Stone will be getting into the capital or the equipment in pretty great detail when we get to this.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now, what is your name?
Judge Stone.
Did he take the man's place who went over to the sheriff's office? Okay, was he with the county all of this time? I mean, before?
He was the actual shop foreman, for what, the past 6 years.
Well, not quite 6 years.
Okay.
He's doing a fantastic job for us. I think everybody in the room would agree.
Except me, because I don't think I've even met him before. Have I met him?
Yes, ma'am, you met me, I believe at the, one of the county council meetings, I stood up and we talked to him at the time.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was probably when he ever go shut up. No, but listen, before you say something, give me your name, okay? Because he is recording this, and it's streamlining, but it's gonna help me when I go back over and remember what you said. But I thank you for that. I thank you for that. My next question, if you can answer this, maybe you would be the one to answer, was that, have we had a lot of work done already on these cars?
Pretty much average for that amount of vehicle. It's a Chevrolet Trailblazer, they're very good, in my opinion, as far as the repair cost long term. But keep in mind, as these vehicles age, the older they get, the more money we spend in repairs, which is the reason why we have a deadline. We try to get rid of them before we start getting to those extreme amounts of repairs.
Okay, how much was the car?
Two of them, 58,000.
A piece?
Yes, ma'am.
No, yeah.
29,000.
29,000 each, yes.
Oh, I thought it was a piece.
29,000 each.
$29,000 each. Okay, Joe, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, Joe, do you think that if we keep this another year or two, that we will be there at the 29,000 just in, repairs or close to it?
We won't be at 29,000, no ma'am, to be honest. We won't have that much. I can actually go back, and if you want all this information, I can give it to you in detail. I can tell you exactly how much money we spent over its lifetime. I think what we're trying to see.
And future spending.
In future spending.
Yeah.
What we start worrying is at this point.
Okay.
And the reason is because if we have a major engine failure or transmission failure, we could look at $3,000 to $4,000 in a repair. Just one repair.
Yeah, you're
On a
right.
vehicle that's probably worth $1,000.
Yeah, okay.
Probably worth $2,500 at the max.
That's good too. Yeah, but it would be good to know the duplicate value. I would advise you, Joe, please do that, but just hold on to it. And if council decides to have, if our chairman decides that we're gonna have a budget workshop before council, that would be really good information, for you to have, okay? Mr. Burns, would you mind sitting over here?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Thank you. Okay, good. Is there anything else in that department, in the, building code that we have not gone over?
Touch on first base.
No, he's fine.
Don't be a question.
We don't have any questions.
I mean,
It's not your best.
In this department?
The department, yes.
Yes. It asks for a permit, specialist one in the building inspector. The administrator's not recommending either at this point.
Okay, yeah, but I'm looking for something like that. Okay. Did anybody bring a yellow pen? Mark again?
And then we get you one out there.
Yeah, I know where one is real quick.
Okay, now, the request, how many?
Two positions, a permit specialist and a building inspector. Due to budget constraints, administrator didn't recommend either at this time.
Two new position of permit and building inspector.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. May I ask why?
Well, I'm going, what I think is pretty good detail as to asking, requesting both. Just because of the increased permit activity that we've seen, we still basically have the same staff levels as we did in 2009. In 2009, obviously the permits were dramatically decreased due to the economy. But since that time,
And we took, administrator took some new positions, right?
Yeah, you
How
have
many
all
did you lose?
three.
well, but I lost three in, I think, around 2009 and before, but my
Right.
point is, by the end of that 2009, we basically had the same staffing as we do now, okay? So, we actually have seen a dramatic increase in our permit activity.
Yeah.
Plus, due to losses in positions, I used to have separate mobile home inspectors. All that is picked up by current staff at this time. If you want to look at numbers specifically, Ms. Floyd, and I've got it here, since 2009 up until now, just for residential construction alone, we've seen over 180% increase
Since 2009?
since 2009. Basically, we issued a total of 238 new single-family dwelling permits in 2009. Well, I'm sorry, I went back to 2011, excuse me, since 2011. And
Wait a
actually,
minute now, I'm confused.
Well,
Since 2011, you received,
I went back as far as 2011 as far as the permits,
Okay.
permits that we've issued, okay?
Uh-huh.
We've actually issued a total of 238 new single-family dwellings in 2011.
Okay.
As of, for 2014 alone, I'm talking specifically from January through December, we issued a total of 668. That's a 180% increase. And so with that, with the same staff I've got now, we're doing more inspections, and that's why we're requesting both.
Okay, how many do you have on board now?
I have 5 full-time building inspectors. Well, I did have 5. I've lost one building inspector recently. But I have 5 actually on the budget, 5 building
Okay, why did
inspectors.
you lose that one?
Um,
No. I want to know, I'm asking you, I want to know, is it because of retirement or was it because of a new position, new job somewhere else?
New job somewhere else.
Okay, good. That's
Higher pay.
Higher pay, okay. I'm running out of space. Wait a minute, lost one, new job.
But I've also lost a permit specialist as well.
For?
Well,
why?
she, due to her pay, again, I don't want to assume anything when I tell you something, but she had a new child, or a new baby. But I do believe if her salary would have been where it should have been at, I believe that she would have stayed.
Okay, all right. What is the level that your people, work on? Okay, now, this is one of those things I told you, I asked you how to do your whole,
Okay.
because it might be a dumb question, but I have been studying some of this stuff, and I have been studying a lot about, the salary schedule and all that, and I want to know what level of a salary tier.
What do you typically start?
There it is, yeah, the salary grade chart, that's what I want to know. What level are these people on?
Well, as far as the permit specialist, I have to apologize, it may take me just a
That's
second.
okay, that's okay.
This is for the consultant, they're reviewing around the 24,000.
For consultant.
Yeah, what do they kind of make?
What?
The inspectors,
No, the specialist, permanent specialist. For example, is that okay to talk about, Mr. Bowman?
What percentage of benefits was Paul advised to put in there? 48%, 38%?
Like 40-something%.
38% of
What
what?
percentage markup on salaries was Paul advised to add?
48%, based on what I've got right here.
Do you see an average, Jen?
there's only one. The pay grade is a 13, the minimum is 21,000.
21, and now he's asking to raise 24.
That's the consultant area, that's the purview.
Okay,
We're trying to get an
Okay.
idea. This is the new pay grade scale
okay.
versus ours at 21 there.
Do we have, What is this effective now?
Yes, ma'am, there 21's the minimum.
I don't have that.
She's asking for the one in effect now, we
No,
have
no, no,
before
this
you.
is what I'm asking for. I'm asking for what is in effect now.
I think
Show her.
she wants to break down to the pay grades.
Yeah.
I don't have the pay grades.
Oh, I got that.
Yeah. That's going to, I need that because
She's a little bit.
that's gonna help in, District Two's determination of our employees, you know, because he needs two more now because they're leaving us. And I'm trying to figure out, are they leaving us? Why are they leaving us? And if they're
Well,
leaving us for more money, we're gonna have to put a plug in this spot in the
I'm sorry,
hole.
Ms. Floyd. Let me just say this, we have replaced Rebecca already. But she is one of the permit specialists that left us, and we have replaced her.
With somebody, from within or without or
Out
within.
from the outside,
And see, that, we lost experience.
a whole lot of experience.
Yeah, and we're in the process of training now, again, which is gonna cost us money. Okay, all right, great, good.
This is what Barry was talking about, as far as where he came up with how he needed those two positions.
Oh, okay, that's good, Dave. That's good, that's good, that's good, thank you, Janet, that's good, Janet. That's good, okay. It's just nighttime, daytime reading. When I'm watching basketball. All right, let's go on. Demolition district. Okay, now, let's get the demolitions real quick here. Oh, that's the, to whomever the question is, that's the money that we got to put in there to tear down the houses and stuff, right? So, are we saying here that district, the first district only used $110.67 of that money?
So far, there are a few trailers
Okay.
that may or may
And
not be
District
done.
6 has not used any at all? Yeah, and District 5 has only used 260, and District 2 has used $7,113,
This
right?
is a December.
As of December. So the money is just sitting there waiting. Okay.
We've actually, including Johns Avenue, that's phase 3. And our contractor has not finished that phase 3 yet.
And they haven't paid yet.
That's right, so
Okay.
those numbers do not reflect that.
Okay. All right. Are we asking for more next year in the budget? Did we put in the budget for that or we're not?
In his defense, I think he originally come up with 100,000 or 100,000 initially. Then we found out about the potential grant. And so we were able to lower that.
Okay, good.
Because the grant's going, we don't have enough Indians to spend all that money if we had it anyway. So the grant money, all in 1 year, we know.
I'm about to say, yeah, okay.
We're asking for 80, with 50 being matched on that
Yeah,
grant,
okay.
and 30 is in that grant.
Okay. All right, good, good. What happened to him? What did he sneak out on me?
He's a butterfly.
Did you see him sneaking out?
I did not, but I could have been at the copier.
I heard him.
You saw him? All right, girlfriend, when you see him sneaking out on me, just say something, all right? Did he crawl under the table? Okay, all right, so that does that.
We think that'd be plenty of money with that grant.
Okay.
To keep the program going.
Okay, all right. All right. Demolition, okay.
Got 40 minutes, if that's what you're
Okay,
looking for.
Mr. Hopkins, that money is under your budget, right? And for the demolition. Barry, whoever, please keep me informed, on that money, because that money is really important in my district.
Well,
Would you put right on there what that is, so,
Ms. Floyd,
Yeah.
after phase 3, there will be no money in your district.
Oh, yeah,
you get your district, you see a lot of we see a lot of houses come down in your district.
Well, we won't get into that now, because I promise I will not get personal with it. I won't go into I just listen. Thank you for the information. And I don't say you can't. Okay. Thank you for the information. We'll leave it like that. Let's go on to roads and bridges now.
Ms. Floyd,
Yes,
can Barry be excused now?
Barry. Barry was late getting here. Now he's ready to go on.
No, I'm just saying, Barry and I were working on several little
Rusty
fires.
had me tied up, that's why I was.
That's the only reason he was late. We had a church in distress and we were trying to assist them this morning.
Okay, did you bring that in writing, or dear Ms. Clark? Go ahead, Barry. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Okay. We're on the roads and bridges now. Okay. One thing that upset me, that I will make a personal statement about. Okay, thank you. Thank you. One thing that upset me was something I read in the newspaper, and I want to address that first. Okay, now, if I could just find a newspaper clipping. Anybody see it on that side? Okay,
You talking about this morning?
huh?
You talking about this morning?
Oh, no. Yeah. There appears to be a need to have your department, what is your department?
Solid waste department and
Okay.
environmental.
Okay, yeah, there seems to have been a need to increase our environmental people. And I think they were asking for 3 or 4. And it was said that, I'll use the term, maybe that the work could be done, the work that they were going to do, provide to the county, could be done by roads and bridges. And when I saw that kind of like triggered something that I was wondering, do you have people with the time that could go out there and do that type of work?
We can do what we have to do.
So, to depend on, if that was an option, that wouldn't, we would still be in probably the same shape we're in now as far as roads are concerned, right? But I don't want to get the two mixed up, but that was a burning question on my mind there. Why was that a possibility? When I know how hard it was to work, and I know what you have to do, and I know that we're behind already in a lot of areas. But are you requesting any personnel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait a minute.
A crew,
A crew to run a crack seal machine that we purchased, 20.
but they cut, took 20 of his position.
When? Last year?
Back over the time period from
Oh,
09
yeah.
through 011, or 2011.
So you lost 20 positions?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How many positions would you say that, let me see if I can get that right. How many employees do you usually have that will help your department to run smoothly?
How many more we need?
Well, no. What's the total do you need, I'm trying to find out. You have a department. If you had 10 people in your department, you would be perfect. You see, but you only got 2. So how many more would you need? You would need 8 more to be perfect, right? So you lost 20. How many do you have now?
We have 80.
You have 80.
We had
You
80.
get now.
We was working with 100.
Okay, you get it now.
But, see, since we're maintenance, and we have, say roughly 1,600 miles of road to maintain,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's 3,200 miles of shoulders that has to be cut. Asphalt that has to be patched. You know, everything, all the asphalt has a life, just like
Yeah.
your car has, you know, a life of X amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do our best to make it to its life.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's hard to give a number, because, I mean, if we have 3,200 miles to keep the ditches open on alone, that's 15 miles a day that we would have to ditch. There's no way we could ditch 15 miles a day.
It's hard to say, but when you lost those 20, you felt it, right?
We felt it.
You felt it, okay.
And you can see it in our road system.
Okay, all right, so you're asking for how many now?
I'm asking for 5 people, just one crew to start doing asphalt, crack sealing.
Crack sealing, you see all the spider webs out on some of these older roads, it looks like spider webs. That is it's fairly labor intensive, but it's overall a fairly cheap operation. And you're preserving those roads for many years to come by keeping the water from getting in those cracks. That's much cheaper than paving. And we feel like with the condition of the roads are now, that we need to do this crack sealing year round. And we could do some spot sealing with the people we have in the winter, but we couldn't do a year-round operation without a crew designated.
Okay, I'm listening to you, okay. All right. What other book like this?
This one that you're moving?
No, I have all my notes in there.
Not your big book.
No, my other ones, I had 2 white books.
Right.
Yeah, and I was working out of one, and I just picked up the wrong one, which is going to make me mad because I have a lot of questions, things marked in that. So I'm gonna have to fly on my pants. When I was trying to go over your schedule by myself, I didn't see anything in here that threw up a red flag. I had the questions about, okay. The only thing that I had questions about was your personnel staff. I looked at the tier, the same thing again, and I was trying to figure out, did I read this wrong? Does it appear that a lot of the people that work under you are in the lower bracket of that scale? Can you just give me a little bit?
Well, you got the salary. Show her the salary.
This year, yeah. You weren't following me. And I can tell it.
The pay grade, she's just thinking that your equal cost of
Yeah.
our pay grade system.
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
Did I see that right? Did I understand that right?
I don't know if I've ever seen that overall, over the whole county to compare where we're at with the whole county. I've never
What's
seen.
most of his look like, Jim? What?
I think that he has a lot of them on the 8th.
He's got a lot of 12s, he's got a lot of 7s, so.
7s is 17,000, 12 is 20.
How many does he have? 8.
I don't see any 8s.
I thought you said 8.
Seven.
Oh, you said 7?
7 and 12s.
Okay.
I didn't know we had a 7. I thought we always started with the 8. I learned something. So 7 is rock bottom, right?
Custodians may be at.
Well, I noticed that as I looked through the whole book for that, I noticed that a lot of the 8s were custodians or housekeeping or stuff way down there, but now we got a 7. When you get if you get these new people you want, what level will they start?
Yeah, what we call 3 labors, which would be the bottom. You know,
Now, just tell me about the ones you were hoping to get.
we're hoping to get 5.
5, okay.
And 3 will be labors, and the pay grade, I don't know, could be maybe. And I have 1 crew leader and 1 equipment operator to make up that 5.
There's the salary.
A laborer is actually a 4.
4?
Yep.
Good gracious. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't understand that.
So we have a 4. Minimum is 15,000 on that 4.
Excuse me. My eyes are watering. Okay.
Budgets, did that make sense?
Yeah, old age is doing it to me. So we do have a late grade level 4.
Apparently so, yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
This scale was all the way down to a 1, but I don't know if we have. What's your animal shelter per page? Okay, so really, I think.
Do you have any 4s? What's your lowest?
Caretakers. Our attendance and
Huh?
full-time attendance at $8 an hour.
What is this level?
What is-
Our
City
convenience center
caretaker.
attendants, they start out at $8 an hour,
Okay.
which is,
Do you have any low or any? Okay.
Greg's lowest is a 4.
Those must be the part-time attendants.
that'd be full-time attendance and part-time attendance.
Oh, 4. All right.
I think solid waste and roads and bridges is the only two that would have those positions. That's lower positions like that.
Solid waste and,
And roads and
yeah, well,
In this room.
when I was looking at the road maintenance budget in this other book that I left at home, when I was looking at that, I saw that. Okay, and then I went back and looked at all the others and I saw the low one, but that was the only thing in your operational general budget request that I couldn't find anything else. If there's something else you want to say, so I will know,
Can we talk about this capital service?
That's
Here
the
is
ones
the
that are
Mr. Owens, $7 million in capital. The administrator's recommending a little less than 600,000. He prioritizes this when he turns it in, and we had to stop right there. In the budget restraint, so.
Paul, did your department turn in the same type of information this year as they did in the past years?
Yes, ma'am. I don't have copies of that page, but they did.
No,
I can get you a copy.
I didn't get a copy of that this
Is
year.
this is any of the
You make copies of operations, not capital, right?
I didn't make whole copies of anything.
Well,
No.
Hope usually gives me a book. I request a book from him. And
I can get one updated and get to you.
I'd like to have that.
That is whole book there, it's just color, it matches our color coordination this year.
I know, that's good.
So
I
you
had
do
one
have
for-
that one.
But I don't have all the information and how it relates back to one another. It's kind of, well, for the past 3 years, Hope's been doing this. And he's been giving me a copy, which has been most helpful in referring and understanding what he needs. And I didn't think you did one this year. May I have a copy, please? Good. And your capital request, okay. What are you not, okay, there's 2 dump trucks. Right here. Yeah. Are you gonna be able to maintain your department
I will.
and carry on without the other things that you asked for?
Can I explain this, sort of how I
Sure.
do this? What I do is I put what we need to replace on this list, what we need and what we need to replace on the capital list. You know, and I'll talk to Stone about, stuff that's worn out and what we're spending on it. So if we're spending more on repairs than what it costs new, I'll put it on this list and I'll put it in priority order. And I feel like it's my job to tell Holt what we need. And it's his job to get me the money.
Okay.
And if he can't get me the money for it and it blows up next year, and he comes to me and says, why did that truck blow up? I can flip this open and say, well, I told you right here. It's my job to tell him, it's his job to get the money. So, can I work without it? Probably can. But this is, since I'm there every day with my hands on this stuff every day, I feel like I need to put it on here and give him the explanation of, I think it needs to be replaced for the best interest of the county. But it's up to him to decide whether he thinks it is over our whole division.
Okay. I was gonna say, Mr. Barry.
Ma'am.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Let's say, for instance, he had an item on roads and bridges, and let's say it was a swing set, and it was approved by the administration, okay? And that's at the bottom, he had 52 shovels, and that was the crew. Could he swap off? Could he?
What I would recommend, whatever amount of money that we give him for capital,
Yes,
is that we leave that decision to them.
okay.
And that way, they know what they need more than anything. But if it's already listed in the budget as their money, they don't have to come back to council, no, they have to go through the purchasing ordinance, but they know better what they need.
Okay, all right. Well, the reason why I asked, because some of the things here, it seems as if you recommended, but other things you didn't. And I was just wondering, well, if he saw that he needed something else more than he needed the one at the top, if they could switch like that.
But if that money is for purchase, then they make the decisions on what it is supposed to, well, say, you have to go by this list. But they prepared that list, and I think it's in descending order of what they need.
Okay.
If something blows up at the bottom of the list,
Mhm.
very likely, we would come back to council and say, can we swap them, because this one blew up.
That's yeah. Okay, good, all right. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else on that, on there that we need to discuss on the resolution?
District pay.
Well, we're not keep getting into that.
And you are down to 25 minutes.
Okay, thank you. We're not going to discuss that right now. Because, I know, but everybody knows you need to pay the money. But just now, after full council looks at the budget and it's gonna be decided then. I know we need to pay the money. I know that. Thank you. Mhm. Roads and bridges.
He leaves here, he's got lots to do.
You got me on time.
Thank you.
Fleet services. Okay. Wait a minute, fleet services, you said you had a lot to go through, right?
Well, and you talk about the county-wide capital needs.
Okay, because I'm gonna go to him last. Okay. That suits you? Are you in a hurry to leave?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I
Your
can,
favorite son, Derek,
well, now.
your favorite student.
No, he's my child, you know. Once you teach him, you don't forget your children. And I told him. And nobody said, you better not pick on him either. Okay. All right. When I looked at this one, I didn't see anything that stuck out to me. I want to tell you what the thing that you all did that really got me to understand your department, okay? We might need to do more of this, okay? It's when Pope Hopkins brought me out to your place. And I saw all of your people, and I went around and I saw everything. I even saw the sludge pile. And thank God it was empty at the time, okay? And I saw the water, I saw everything. And I understood I understood what goes on there, and I understand that you need more people, but I understand also that your people have to be highly trained
Yes, ma'am.
and certified to do what they do. So, let's look at, the training for employees thing right here. Yeah. How many new people do you need?
Right
Are you
now,
asking for?
I am requesting one.
You're requesting a right-of-way technician?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Because he talking about me.
No, I was asking what department was he in?
You know they're watching you now. I've told them to let me know when you
Ms.
speak
Floyd,
out
I
here.
got 200,000 people watching.
Well, 2 more won't hurt. Right away. Okay. What's the right away technician?
Right-of-way tech, and just kind of break it down, we have close to 300 miles of sewer lines
Mhm.
throughout Anderson County. And what we're trying to do is stay ahead of EPA, DHEC.
Okay.
They're gonna come in and inspect us at some point in time. I wanna be able to provide the records that we are maintaining our right-of-ways, we're TVing our lines, we're cleaning our lines. Not only is it,
Do you understand what TV means? That's the way you gotta use. they actually run a camera, a robot camera into the lines to see.
Oh, I've seen that on television.
Right.
Yeah, that's something new. I think I saw it in Charleston.
Right.
That they were doing that to see how the lines, okay, so we doing that now?
We're doing it part-time.
Well, where did we get our equipment from?
We've had our equipment for about 4 or 5 years, something like that.
We have a little robot that can do
We
that?
just found, it's pretty impressive.
Like to see that. Like I say, I know what it was. I didn't know TVA. Thank you for that. But I have seen that done before. But will that person be doing that?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
EPA technician, right-of-way technician?
Right-of-way
is doing that?
technician.
Can it be done in-house? Can you do it yourself? No. Do you have anybody who can do it already?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have 2 guys that's trained to do it right now.
Mhm.
And, you know, as we are TV and our CCTV, correct lingo for it. But, you know, we also have a right of ways that we have to cut and maintain. With the rain we've had here lately, I mean, we're having to cut these things twice so we can make them accessible so we can get into inspection.
Okay. I've got myself confused. You are looking for someone to do just what you said, not for someone who could run the robot.
They do both.
Yes, they do both.
Okay.
They do
all right.
both.
Do you have some, okay. Would this be an outside person coming in, or would you be doing this within? You,
Outside, more than likely.
they're gonna need training,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Is it gonna take that full 10,000 for, I mean, how much money is that? $10,450 for training?
The training, we're all certified by the state of South Carolina,
Mhm.
DHEC,
Mhm.
as trained licensed wastewater operators, collection operators, and we have to keep that certification up. DHEC requires us every year to provide at least 6 hours of training. And most time this is not in-house training, we have to go out and certified instructors, which are certified to give us CEU credits. So, you know, with all our employees that are certified, and some of them are double certified. We have biological wastewater, we have pre-treatment, we have collection system
Okay.
operators.
I did it for you again. I assumed something that I should not have assumed. But the $10,450 is your training budget for the entire staff as needed.
That's correct.
Not just for that
That's correct.
one thing. Okay, good. All right. Oh, let me tell you, it really helps when you highly suggest that council members go out and see these things for themselves in person, because you kind of like know what they're talking about. And so that was the training thing. When I saw that was the only thing. And this new position, the right-of-way tech. What would that person start at?
That's a pay grade 12 and rated, is it around 25? 27.
Okay. All right. Okay, is there anything else?
You know, the one thing I can
Are
mention.
you asking for any more capital?
Oh, we do have some capital, yes, ma'am.
All three of them? How many trucks do you have now?
We have a fleet, probably 15. 12, 15.
Okay. You
This is
have,
like the 89, this is a very old vehicle.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I give Stone and my guys credit because we take care of our equipment.
that's it?
I mean, it does take
Yeah.
a long way. But, I mean, we're requesting to replace a 97,
Mm-hmm.
a 99, and a 2001, I believe.
97, 99, and 2001. All right, when y'all get rid of those trucks, what do you do with them?
We turn them into fleet.
And what do you do with them?
Place them in a ball yard, current,
For parts and,
Just rust away.
rust away, that.
That's another, when it comes up, we need to talk about it.
yes, that's money, honey.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah,
And especially when they're broken into and stuff stolen off of them, it is more money.
that's what I'm saying, it's money going out the door, which could be money coming back in the door too as well. Yeah, we need to do that. I won't get on to that. Okay. All right, Derek,
Yes, ma'am.
so you're asking for one truck, flatbed, and another one, I think you did.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you got a new truck?
We did get a truck this past year, and what we're trying to do is, we're trying to rotate our vehicles, you know, 1 or 2 every year, so we won't get hit 4 and 5 in one budget year.
Okay, I want to thank you for doing what you're doing. In fact, I want to thank everybody for that. But it's just because of the fact that I agree with you.
Right.
That's right.
And you're welcome to come back anytime.
I would love to see that robot
Yes, ma'am.
thing being done. I think we all should
Smoke
done.
test or.
Yeah. Good. I think it's gonna, I don't hold you up too much today.
Come out.
Let's talk about stormwater. Years and years and years ago, I've been here 16 years, you know that. And during my first time here, I heard about stormwater. You have asked, and I went to all the stuff about it, so I know that much about it, more than I know about this stuff. You have asked for, gosh, my nose. You had asked for another, it's in the newspaper here. What did you ask for?
As far as the new position?
Yes.
Administrative position and an inspector.
Okay, all right. All right, now, the paper said that in another meeting, that one was cut out and one would be recommended. According to what the newspaper said, okay? Do you remember which one would be, no, I can tell you. The administrative would be done, but the other person would be cut out. All right. Why did you ask for both of those people?
With kind of the similar reason as what Barry told you about the increase in construction activity. So a lot of what we do is construction related, the amount of development going on. Our inspector, we have one inspector position currently, and she's not able to keep up with inspections on what's going on now. But keep in mind also, construction is only one part of what we do with stormwater. And our permit the county has from the state tells us how are we supposed to manage stormwater properly. It's given us other things that we need to be doing in addition to the construction program. So this inspector wouldn't be just doing construction inspections, but would be helping with some of those other requirements. So that's why I'm asking for the inspector position.
Okay.
The administrative position is,
You only have one inspector now,
have one now.
one now, and you need another one.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The administrative position, we have a part-time,
Keep talking.
we've got a part-time administrative position now. And we're asking that part-time be made full-time.
Okay.
This is to help us, this helps us get more accomplished. Our plan reviewer and our inspector, that administrative position cuts down on their administrative time on logging in applications for permits, for paperwork associated with sending out correspondence on inspections or complaint investigations. So it would streamline make us more efficient, get more field work done.
Okay, John, how many people do you have in your department?
We've got 3 full-time and
3 full-time what?
1 part-time.
3 full-time what? What do they, 3 full-time inspectors? 3 full-time?
No,
I'm asking 3 full-time.
stormwater manager, myself, plan reviewer.
Okay, don't include yourself.
Okay,
Okay, so you only have 2 full-time.
right.
Okay, 2 full-time, and they're expected.
One's an inspector and one is a plan reviewer.
So you only have 2 people in your department. Okay.
And part-time.
If you had to choose between the inspector or the administrator, which one would benefit your department the most, and benefit Anderson County the most?
The administrative position.
The administrative position.
And if I could jump in, I had this conversation just this morning with his employee, or yesterday. our plan reviewer is starting to get to his backlog, is getting close to an automatic trigger that allows these permits to go unapproved and then go to work. If they don't if they don't review those plans within 20 working days, it's an automatic approval. Just turning them loose to do whatever they want to. And that would wreak havoc on his permit.
So you are saying this,
And that
about the
administrative-
inspectors?
Well, I'm just talking about how this administrator person helps the plan reviewer. By having her there full-time can take a lot of stuff that distracts that plan reviewer, so he can just be looking at plans.
And the administrator is recommending, you know, just talked about in the finance committee to give him his choice, which one he wanted. But administrator in the budget, you'll be asking to vote on Tuesday night. It is in both of them already there.
I'm voting on the budget Tuesday night.
Yes, ma'am.
Voting on the budget Tuesday night.
First reading's on Tuesday.
That's the Sunday, I was gonna tell you, currently, he is in the budget, both positions are in the budget.
But the inspector is in the same situation. If she doesn't get to all the jobs when she's supposed to, the one we have now, then DHEC could fine us for not following our terms of our permit.
Did you write that down? You just say, DHEC can find us, but it's on this thing here too, right? Is that recorded?
Yes, it's mine. I hit record, it might be already used up.
Okay. All right, okay, good.